culture, because without her doing that, and the ignorant people that continue to do it, I wouldn't be inspired to write this. A man told me to go back to where I came from. It wasn't the first time I heard that, and it's not going to be the last, but I laughed to myself anyways, because I am where I originated from. It's awkward that when I mention I'm Native, I get asked if I'm related to Taylor Lautner, or maybe even Sacagawea. The two being in two completely different tribes than my own. I am Creek. I am Seminole. It's even more awkward when they can only come up with a short list, which is a constant reminder that not too many Natives are even recognized for what they've done. The credit we get comes from the movies where you raise a right hand saying how. The history books that suggest being nomadic was every tribe's choice, and the picture where her hair is in braids with a tiny feather peeking through. And oh God, it's surprising when I tell them that Pocahontas is not a woman I look up to. Because if you actually read between the lines, the only credit she got was being seen as the first civilized savage, but thanks for the crumb. The crumb to my grandmother's fry bread recipe that I am begged for. The fry bread recipe that leads down a dangerous path called diabetes. Another trail to death which my people struggled with. A real hero would be my mom, a modern Native who was there when I came home crying because the kids at school called me a redskin. Why do we still have the man's face who engineered the genocide of those redskins still on the $20 bill? Things that I have been asked and have been told are so hurtful and so cold, like why is my skin not dark enough? Or can I speak to the trees? Or the first time I read my poem about my mother being an alcoholic, they said it made sense because she was Indian. Stop asking me to speak in my native tongue that I haven't learned, because that is one of the things that we are trying to preserve, trying to keep from going extinct like a buffalo you ignorantly believe is my spirit animal. I don't get free money for being native to my land. I don't live on some reservation or in some teepee. I live in a 3-bedroom house in North Tulsa where the only money we get is from my mom's part-time jobs and $100 taken out of my dad's paychecks for child support. I don't get any special treatment for the eagles in my veins. But I watch as my culture is turned into a costume. Wearing a war bundle that they didn't earn is okay because it looks cool. Symbolism and meaning is lost. They turn a ritual symbol of stomped into a big joke, and the war cry that we are so proud of is only thought as a whooping noise with our hands over our mouths. And the peace pipe that is so sacred but misunderstood is not filled with weed or peyote. It's filled with broken treaties and empty prayers. Prayers that we make to ourselves, to each other, to a higher power, not to a sun god. But finally, I would like it to be understood that I'm not blaming for what their ancestors done. I'm not making fun. I'm just here to remind you that history tends to repeat itself.